He's like, okay, Mary, your nose is pierced now. And it hurts like a freaking...
But I know very well who you are. You couldn't hold me down.
Hey YouTube users, it's Mary. Welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be talking about my experience with getting a nose piercing. So I got this nose piercing I think in 2017 before I got my wisdom teeth removed. If you want to see my video of getting my wisdom teeth removed, I actually cried listening to Cardi B, Bodak Yellow. But if you want to see that, give this video a thumbs up. Yeah, so I got my nose pierced I think a week after I got my wisdom teeth removed. So I went to this place called Jungle Zone. I know people are wondering how bad it hurt. It honestly didn't even hurt that bad. And I mean, for me it didn't hurt because like my pain tolerance is kind of high. I was super nervous. Like obviously like every time you get a piercing or whatever, like the adrenaline is there and you're super nervous to get a piercing and all that. But honestly it wasn't that bad. He was about to pierce and he was like, so what's your name again? And I was like, Mary. He pierced it like right there and he's like, okay, Mary, your nose is pierced now. Like it was that quick. Like it was literally just a pinch. And I just remembered like my eyes tearing up. It's just nerve-wracking before all of it happened, but once it happened it's like it was nothing. So from 1 to 10, I would rate it like a 3 out of 10. Like 10 being like the most painful thing ever. And then, yeah, so it's a 3 out of 10. How to take care of it. Honestly, to be freaking honest with you guys, he said use soap. I didn't go buy the soap. Like I kind of just like winged it. And I don't know why. It rarely happens now, but I don't know why when you first get it, like you accidentally yank on it all the time, like when you're sleeping and like all that stuff. Like you always accidentally like yank on it and it hurts like a freaking... That only like really happened in the beginning and it would be super sensitive and super sore, and then at one point I think I yanked on it and I started growing like a little bump. I know a lot of you guys could relate, like you guys got a bump. Like it's called a keloid and it's basically just like... Okay, let's look up the definition of a keloid. It says a keloid is a type of thick scar that can develop at a piercing site. So I think this is just like scar tissue that starts growing when it's like irritated and like it starts like healing some type of way, and so like you get a bump. And so I had a bump I think like a month after I got it, because like I kept yanking it when I was sleeping, or like it would just like randomly get yanked, but it rarely happens now. Okay, so I obviously looked it up, like how to get rid of this. Like it was so freaking ugly. Like it was just like a red bump. And when I got my nose pierced, like my parents didn't know that I was gonna get it, even though I was already 18. But yeah, my parents are just super strict. But yeah, they didn't know I was getting it. And then one day I came home and I like hugged my dad, and my mom was doing the dishes, and I hugged my dad and she like saw my nose. She's like,
what is that on your nose?
and I was like, ah, ha, ha. And then she was like, look at what your daughter has on her nose. And then my dad was like, why did you get that? Like I always joked around before, like, oh, I'm gonna get my nose piercing, but they were always like, no, don't get it, like no, don't do that. But I still got it. Like they couldn't really do anything about it. My dad was like mad but like calm at the same time, but my mom like ignored me for like 3 days. Yeah, so when I got the keloid, I was like, dang it, like my mom's gonna say something, because like the main thing she was like kind of worried about me getting a piercing was it getting infected. So like I didn't want her to see the freaking keloid, but it was red and there was a bump, and I like kept looking up things to like how to fix it and like all this stuff. And I tried mixing salt and water together, like warm salt and water, and just like putting it on there. And then I did like put like salt on it, let it dry, and then wash it off. Felt like it was getting worse the more I tried like doing it. Like don't use Q-tips, because the little fibers on Q-tips actually get into the piercing site and it gets more irritated. So don't use Q-tips or any cotton. And yeah, so I just kept like complaining about it because I was like, it's not going away, I'm trying everything and all this stuff. And then someone on my secret Instagram saw that I was like struggling, and he told me to just leave it alone. And that's like the biggest tip. Like honestly, I did leave it alone. Like I stopped like using like Q-tips and like stopped using like the salt stuff, but I still like rinsed it. My advice and like my experience, I'm not an expert at this obviously. When you wash your face, run your nose under warm water first so it opens up like the piercing site or whatever, and then right after run it under cold water so then it closes, so it like opens and closes. And I just kept doing that. Like I didn't touch it with my hands. Like don't touch it with your hands. What I did was just I ran my nose under the faucet with warm water first. It doesn't really matter how long, just as long as it was covered, and run it with warm water, and then right after run it with cold water so then it like opens and then closes. And then that's basically what I did to get rid of the keloid. I don't know if it'll work for everyone, but for me, like leave it alone, rinse it under warm water and then cold water, and then basically it just went away. It hasn't came back since then. Yeah, that's like my biggest tip. Just leave it alone. Like I think that's for like every piercing. Like just don't touch it. I know it's new and I know it's tempting to like be like, oh my god, I got a new piercing, but don't do that, because you're just gonna hate yourself for it getting a bump, and like it's super ugly. And like obviously to us it's like the main thing that we focus on when there is a bump there, because it's like, oh dang it, like why is it there, like why can't it just go away? It's in the middle of your face, so like you get insecure about it obviously. So yeah, just leave it alone, run it under hot and then cold water, and then it disappeared for me. I don't know if it'll work for everybody. Like I said, I'm not an expert, but that's just my tip. Yeah, that's all I honestly have to say. This is a really short video. I have other piercings. I have 9 piercings. Yeah, I have 9 piercings. I have my belly button pierced as well, and my belly button piercing is still healing, and it's kind of annoying because it's been like over 6 months, but it's whatever. I just leave it alone. I don't want to do anything about it. I can't really do anything about it. Like if I keep touching it, then it's just gonna get worse, even though I do kind of touch it, which I'm kind of contradicting myself with this. But yeah, that's basically all I have to say about nose piercings. If you're scared about the pain, it's really not that bad. It's literally a quick pinch. Rating it, I think my belly button piercing was more painful than the nose piercing. My nose piercing was more painful than my cartilage piercing. Honestly, my cartilage, like, it didn't even hurt at all. But obviously, it depends on your pain tolerance. I have a really high pain tolerance, but we'll see. I kind of want to get a tattoo, so we'll see how that goes. I'm probably going to get one when I turn 21, even though my parents are going to hate me for it, but I really want a tattoo. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys got something out of it. Hopefully it works for you guys, but obviously I'm not an expert. Let me reiterate that once again. But I hope to see you guys in my next video. I don't know. We'll see what I come up with. Comment, like, and subscribe, and don't forget to turn your post notifications on. Bye!